Hello everybody and welcome to this episode of Retro Ratchet. In this one we're going to do the first and final video on the BMW M4. So this is actually my daily driver at the moment and we'll be trading it in very shortly. Probably by the time the video gets published it will be gone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the things I least like about the car, and some of them I really dislike, and talk about things I do like about the car. So exhaust noise is pretty decent. You can control it because it's valved, so it can be a little bit more sensible, you know, in efficient mode. So that's it there in efficient. Yeah, it's pretty quiet. And then you stick that into sport, valves should open. So heater controls. BMW, why don't you have a button that matches up and equalises both left and right temperature? So if you put the right hand side up, most cars just have a button that says dual or something like that, so then that'll go up as well if you don't want it to be split, if it's just you in the car. So that's annoying because then you need to go there and turn that one up to match. Right, so anybody that's a fan of carbon fibre on the car, they'll be pleasantly surprised if they buy an M4. It comes with this standard, and there's the carbon fibre roof there. That does look pretty impressive. You've got the carbon fibre spoiler on the back. And that looks, the part's not too big as well to be in your face. And then same down here, just on these air intakes, you've got some more carbon fibre. So yeah, that's a pretty cool piece of styling. Right, I'm pretty sure this is going to be an irritation for most M4 owners. So I'm going to start this up. I'll see in a minute what I'm talking about. So down there under the rev counter, it shows you the different drive modes it's in. So the car by default starts in sport suspension mode and sport steering mode. So it's stiffened things up a little bit too much, I think, for just everyday driving. So you have to then go in and manually change that back to comfort each and every time. So that's super irritating. You know, for me, it would be best if it just started efficient, comfort and comfort. I think that would be the way to do it. So probably the biggest positive about any M car is performance. That's the most obvious one. So do a couple of pulls here. You see how well it goes. It's a nice sunny day, so at least we'll have a bit of traction. There's loads of torque as well. That's third gear, 40. So this next one rates quite high on my list of irritations on the M4. So you've been driving along and drive there, or manual mode, you park up, come to a halt, park up. Let's say if you put the car into neutral like you would normally do, if you go to turn it off now, it'll get quite upset with you and give you a warning. So the way you actually need to turn it off, so start it back up, is, you know, if you have it in drive, you simply just turn it straight off like that without putting it into neutral, and then it'll put the transmission straight into park, which is what you want. And if you try and get out of the car when it's not in park, it'll throw a bit of a fit. So, but yeah, I mean, I do it all the time. I forget to turn it off in that sequence, and you get the noise. So in terms of equipment, I've been quite lucky with this car. It came with quite a few extras. Probably my favourite extra is the heads-up display. So hopefully you can pick that up. That's in M mode, so you get the rev counter there, which looks pretty cool. Another good option that I have here is the heated steering wheel. So that's pretty handy. I do suffer from cold hands all the time, so it's really nice to have that heated in the winter. So that was definitely an extra. What else does it have? Yeah, it has this. It has a Harman card and sound system. that's a really nice extra to have. So yeah, I mean, it comes with obviously the sat nav, which I don't really rate too much. We've got some heater controls in the back there. The driver's seat is fully electric, as you would expect. You've got memory settings on that, and both front seats are heated. There's 3 different heat settings on them, and we've got a reverse camera as well. That should come on. Yep, so there's your reverse camera on there, so that's pretty handy. Quite like them. So this is quite an odd one, and it actually happened to this car just before I bought it. If you've got somebody that's quite a small driver and they push the seat forward, the top of the seat can actually hit off the sun visor. So ordinarily that wouldn't be an issue, except there is a vanity mirror behind there. So that was smashed actually when I went to collect the car. So, you know, if there is kids getting in and out of the car, be careful of that one, that you don't move the seat forward too hard, or you either have the seat a wee bit further back. So the seats, I think the seats are in both categories of positives and negatives. They're absolutely beautiful to look at, how they're sculptured, you know, how they're put together. Particularly this lights up, you'll see that at night, so that looks pretty cool. But in terms of negatives, you'll see there's 0 lumbar support. So I do struggle with my back when I'm driving, so it pushes your back. Your back's quite far in there, and your head's a little bit too far forward there for me. So they're not ideal for me. They can be a little bit uncomfortable. And if you have a child, like we do, these are an ideal spot for them to stick their feet through and irritate your wife. So that doesn't go down too well, but they do look pretty cool. So yeah, that's both categories for seats and that one. Fuel consumption, well, that might be a concern for some. I guess that's not really indicative of what you see in front of you, because I'd actually just reset it before I was playing about doing these videos. What I find on it is, on a run, I get upwards of 30, I get 30 to 33 if I'm taking it easy just on the motorway. And then generally all the rest of the time, if I'm messing about in it, I'm getting usually around about 23, 24, 25. So I think it's not too bad actually. You know, if you want to take it easy, you know, you'll still get a decent mile per gallon out of it, you know, for a 450 brake car. And then obviously the more you play about with it and put your foot down, that's obviously going to go down quite a bit. So phone connectivity, so this is another thing that is a little bit patchy on the M4. So I've got an iPhone, so you connect up your iPhone and you have this icon here which you can, you know, play music via that. But what I find with that is then when you scroll through music using these to select a new track, for some reason it just won't let you scroll through and select different tracks. So you really want to have it on this Spotify one here, which then does allow you to control the music properly through the steering wheel. But it's a case of manually going in and doing that every time, you know, you get in the car. By default it seems to start up on that one, so that's a little bit annoying. Right, so the BMW navigation system, yeah, I'm not too much of a fan of it, to be fair. Once you get into the system like this, you've got all these various options. So for example, if you just go into quick search, you're having to wheel around here and get, you know, the postcode or the address set in. And when you want numbers, you're into that one, you press the iDrive thing around. Another thing it does do, which does sometimes get in the way, you know, if the vehicle is moving at the time, is it allows you to like draw the number on it. As we'll see, it'll probably, let's try a B. Oh, it's got a B, so that's good. D, my D's aren't really very good. Yeah, so that's a P. So yeah, that doesn't work out really well, and then you can end up, you know, knocking it like that when you are putting in your address or where you're going. So I'm not particularly keen on that one. So yeah, the sat-nav definitely gets a thumbs down for me, just the general usability of it. But to be fair, you know, it is a few years out of date, I suppose. Right, so I think one of the most obvious positives about any M car are their looks and appearance. So who wouldn't like that? Coupe styling. You've got the bulge in the bonnet there, the carbon roof. You've got quite a lot of carbon added on this one, around there. You've got the black kidney grille with the M4 badge on it. The lights, which you'll have just seen. We've got 20-inch alloys on it as well. And then the back end, again, looks pretty meaty. You've got the 4 exhausts, the spoiler. So they definitely look the part. And they've got a real good presence on the road. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed that very short video on the M4 and found it maybe useful if it's something they were considering buying. It's just a very light-hearted review. Car reviewing is not something I typically do on the channel. I might do another few, but I'm definitely going to need a little bit of practice. So please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you for the next video.